Oh yes, we're back again. So it's time to dive into this DJ Academics and Sneako fiasco that happened a couple of nights ago, last week I believe, with Mike Rashid and Brandon Carter. Shout out to Mike Rashid, he's solid. Brandon Carter too. They just kind of, you could tell they was turned off by. Again, this is the prime example of when a lame gets some money. Money does not change you; it just reveals your true character. This is the same. And you see this is evident with DJ Academics because he prides himself on his status and wealth. Whenever you have a man that prides himself on status and wealth, he has nothing else to offer. He is pretty much insecure with his anatomy. So they have to use external objects to validate their status or validate their own ego. If you watch this episode, I'm not going to put any clips on. I'm sure you've seen it. These boys, I want to call them boys, they came on a Fresh and Fits podcast attacking these women, not knowing what type of context, where the conversation was at that time, just looking to get a viral moment. What I notice is with DJ Academics, he picks and chooses his battles very wisely. And most of the time, 99.9% of the time, they're with women. When he's confronted by a male, he is very docile, very, not chill, but he's very cautious of how he moves and how he speaks to men. But you do not see that same bravado when he speaks to women. You see him give the grandstand presentation, calling them out of their names. And then you have Sneako, who is very impressionable, fell right into the trap with him. I follow some of Sneako's content. He's a different type of content creator. This is really not his shtick, but he's trying to climb the ladder. So he's looking for every opportunity to get to the status of the men he's now finding himself around all the time, whether it be Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, his brother, Fresh and Fit, and DJ Academics, and many more. He's not mature enough to understand his own identity. He's very boisterous, very opinionated. He has a lot of energy, but he's projecting it in a toxic manner. He's not projecting it in a masculine manner. So you see that DJ Academics, again, he has all of this aggression, and that stems from hurt. The way he speaks, he's calling the women out. He's name dropping, talking about his boy had him in the Airbnb that he pays for. Again, all resulting back to money. Telling the woman that her husband or her boyfriend, she's married, but telling her that her man is broke, he cannot afford to get in the building. Anytime you have a man propping himself up based upon his status and wealth, he is insecure and he is still hurt because he has still not attained the experience that he would like to with the woman, because more than likely he has to pay for it. As far as Fresh and Fit is concerned, I'm not sure what they were thinking. I think Myron had to he may have had to go handle some business. I'm not sure. But leaving your brand in the hands of DJ Academics, and I'm thinking he was trusting Fresh to kind of mediate things a lot better, or a little better, or, kind of close it out, because it was toward the end. But this is a prime example when you leave your prized possession or possessions in the hands of a careless person, in the hands of a person who's looking for opportunity. They're not looking to add value, but they're looking for opportunity to have a viral moment. And then a day or two after, he gets into a situation with two women to where he's stating again that he's the prize because he is DJ Academics, he's rich, he's this and that. And I blame you women. Because again, because you want the bag, because you want some type of clout, you deal with these L7s just because they have the money and the status. You give them a chance and they mess it up for the guys that stand on 10 toes. You mess it up for real stand-up guys. You give these lames opportunity and access to you just so you can say you was in a mansion or in a Benz. Knowing that you do not find these guys sexually attractive, but you trick yourself because in most cases, it doesn't take much for you to get aroused and get off them cookies. As long as it's a benefit or some type of exposure at the end of it, you'll fight through it. You'll fight through it. Women have always had this survival mentality, but I'm not going to harp on you. We're going to take it back to DJ Academics and Sneako. And then Sneako chimes in and gives his 2 cents. And this woman is pretty much holding her own, but you don't know who this woman is. She's from Brazil. She's in Miami. You don't know who she's connected with. She has a face tat. You don't know who she knows. You don't know what type of, you don't know what she's doing there in the first place. You don't know who she's affiliated with. You don't know what gang card. You just don't know her. And you're disrespecting this woman that you do not know. And for all you know, she could be part of MS-13, other, infamous gangs that root in South America and extend up to the northern states. You just don't know who you're dealing with. This is reckless behavior. And this is what happens when you give L7s a camera and a microphone. It really don't have anything to say of value in a lot of cases. Sneako, he has his head on straight for the most part to be such a young man, but he's very impressionable, and he's trying to find his way to success by any means. He doesn't really have a set strategy other than finding a viral moment and getting his social media value up. So I guess people will invite him onto the podcast and onto these platforms, but it's not really a plan. But again, you must protect your brand at all times. You must protect your brand at all times, because they can get canceled just like Andrew Tate was kicked off of social media, YouTube, etc. They can follow and have the same fate. A lot of critiques have been given to Fresh and Fit, and I have one. I have my own. I have a couple with Myron, with Fresh, Myron setting the platform up to basically have the same type of women come on, different women, but it is the same conversations every time. He says the same thing too much. And I know he has Fresh and Fit have a growing audience, but you repeat yourself too much. It is the same exact talking points every time. You have the same age demographic and usually the same geographic. From Miami's, you'll have a few implants from other states, but you're talking to the same women essentially. So when you say you're talking to over 1,000 women, you really only talk to 6. You've really only spoken with 6 women out of the 1,500, 2,000, whatever number you have. You only spoken to 6 because they have a hive mindset. They all think the same. So you haven't spoken to a wide variety of women, because women of true quality and character and value, they're not going to be on a podcast talking to men about relationships. They're going to be in happy, healthy ones outside of social media, outside of YouTube, and off of the internet. You see this. It's the same talking points. You prove my point. Your point has been proven 1,000 times, Myron. Your point has been proven 1,000 times. What other points do you need to prove? We know what's going. At this point, if you've been on the internet for the last 6 months to a year, you should know what the dating climate is in America and in the West in general. You should know this. It's not a secret. The cat is out of the bag. The cat jumped out of the bag last year when Kevin Samuels got piping hot. The cat has been out of the bag. There is nothing else to prove. There are no more points to prove other than the fact that men need to adapt. And how should we adapt? What strategy should we take? Getting your money up and all. We got these same low, not when you say low quality. We have these same basic solutions. Get your money up, get in shape, get in the gym, etc. Okay, then what? Money, that does not make a woman wet. It may give her some comfort, so therefore her mood is elevated because she feels secure for that moment, but That does not equate to a biological desire physically. When you strip away the status, the money, and stand up naked beside her, that money does not mean shit. You have to have an intrinsic value. You have to be multifaceted. You have to be more than just in shape and have some money. You have to have a certain conversation, a certain appeal, a certain value. See, again, I've said this in videos before. Myron does not want to accept the fact that women have evolved. So he makes these statements saying, well, if you line up 100 women and this, that, and the third, no, this is a new batch. Evolution has taken place whether you want to accept it or not. Evolution has happened. So it is time to push the envelope forward. But a lot of men like to come on the platform and stay in the comments because that is their way of getting therapy for their hurt, their past heartbreaks, their past inadequacies, their past failures. This is a way to get back at the women by saying everything they say is incorrect. If we know for a fact women and men are biologically different, what makes us think that they're going to say things that we agree with or align with? Of course, we're going to disagree because they think different. They're women. So to continuously argue with them night after night, it becomes asinine and it becomes redundant. And it is not productive. You have a great platform. You need to utilize it for that purpose of what you built it for in the first place. Arguing with these women on a nightly basis has become boring. It is time to change the play up. We know at this point, most of them are delusional and they're going to crash out. We know this. We're looking at the future. But a L7, once they get money and status, they're going to expose themselves. You just have to give them time because they are more likely not used to getting the attention from a wide variety of women, a wide amount of women, not variety, but a good amount of women. So you see them expose themselves and you see Mike Rashid stand up like a G and walk off the set. I'm not going to sit here and watch you berate this woman that you do not know. Name dropping your guys and all. No. If I was Fresh and Fit, DJ Academics would be banned. He would not be allowed on the platform. That relationship in most cases would be severed unless it's something behind the scenes. Yeah, that would be a dub. If I was Myron, that would be cut off. He would not be allowed back into the studio. After embarrassing and pissing on their name and platform the way that him and Sneako did, they would not be allowed back. But that's just my 2 cents. You guys let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the Date Master.